Hello everybody, my name is Ma Yang, and today I'm going to start out with two questions before I tell you guys what my topic is about. So my first question to you guys is, how many of you guys have read comic book? Think about it for a couple of seconds. Now, how many of you guys have read book like a novel or a textbook that is assigned for you for homework? Think about that for a couple of seconds. Now, my topic today is why are comic book good to read? So you might be asking me, what is a comic book? A comic book is basically a graphic novel that has a combination of magazine, book, or story. But in my definition, it's like it has easy, simple, and short sentence or term that even a little kid can understand. And in the comic, it will have speech bubble, text line, and character, and many more. And most importantly, it will have picture and creative art for you to be able to look at. In 1827, Rudolf Tuffer was the first person who created a comic book. And in those comic books, it is mostly drawn by hand, raw material like paper, ink, pencil, color, and painting. And the drawing will have several images on one whole paper, or it will be separate into small little sections. And with these technology right now, the comic book that has been drawn by hand, it could be scanned and put into a better appearance than the original. And after, when it come out from the print, it will be put into together by glue or staple, and then it will be formed into a book. So right now, let's go look a little bit about the history of comic book. Comic book is like the sequential of illustration to tell a story, date, or the prehistorical time when early human paint series of image on rock and cave wall. Think about that. And then people didn't really know how to draw realistic as now, which their art is more like cartoon looking. Don't you guys think cartoon or comic first started from people who are looking at image, rock, or cave wall, and that's how the ideas might be coming up, by how it was formed? And then in 1930, many of the now famous, like the superheroes, made the first appearance in comic book. And then in 1950, the comic book publishers started to turn to crime, horror story, and many more. And then what's fascinating me so much about the comic book history is that in 1934, it was sold for 10 cents in the Eastern Color Painting Company. And then not just that, but 35,000 copies of comic book were sold when they went to the chain store. And 250,000 copies of comic book were ordered from American News. Isn't that fascinating to know about it? So what is good about comic book? Well, first off, comic book have many topics. For example, fiction, non-fiction, short, long, and religion, and many other more. So right now, I'm going to answer your question, the question that I asked in the beginning of this video. So right now, I'm going to compare comic book and book. Comic book has image that will help the audience understand what's going on by just looking at it. Without word, you'll just look at the picture and you'll understand the whole story and what's going on. And then not just that, when you're reading a book, you could get bored, tired, you don't even want to read it. But then if it have picture, like comic have picture, it will be able to grab your attention and make you get interested. And not just that, but if the art or the picture have better skill, better drawing, you'll be able to attract more of your attention.